My insides were female and my outsides were masculine. Originally, I was born in Eugene, Oregon, and I was born to a crazy, fiery, redheaded woman. And then she uprooted my life and moved me to the state of Mississippi, where the beginning of a rocky journey started for me. When I was born a twin, but sadly, my twin did not proceed to be able to live in life. The doctor basically explained to my mother that we were two separate fraternal embryos and I was meant to be a woman, but his testosterone and his hormones were raging and so high because they were overproducing to help him grow faster. And so it ended up basically turning me into an intersex person.
Hi everyone, I am Julie Edmonds, your host of Channeled, tapping into the wisdom of your soul. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Channeled, tapping into the wisdom of your soul. And I have the beautiful honor to sit down with supermodel Addie RT. She is a celebrated intersex transgender model and advocate whose journey in fashion, activism, and embodiment inspires bold, authentic living. So, welcome, Addie. Thanks for joining today.
Thank you for having me. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Thank you,
As
thank
I
you.
am, I am very, very excited. As the listeners don't know, I actually serendipitously sat next to you on a plane ride from LAX to South Florida, and we got a chance to know
Nice.
each other. And I found your story fascinating, interesting, inspiring, and just awe-inspiring, actually. And I wanted to hear more, and here we are. So, Addie, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you started, how did you get to be the supermodel that you are today?
Thank you. And well, thank you for having me, first of all. I could not be more honored to be doing this. And that plane ride really did change my life. It was absolutely so incredible and breathtaking to be able to speak to somebody that was just kind and open and a willingness to be educated further on all things in life that happen to do with intersexism and transgenderism. And so thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome.
Um, where to begin? Hello, my name is Addie RT. I am 23 years old. I have been modeling since I was about 14 years of age with the illustrious grace of my beautiful and wonderful adoptive fathers who came into my life at a very tumultuous moment. And it was very, let's lack for better words, it was intriguing to say the least.
And can we talk
Um,
about where you grew up?
Absolutely, absolutely. So originally, I was born in Eugene, Oregon, and I was born to a crazy, fiery, redheaded woman. And then she uprooted my life and moved me to the state of Mississippi, where the beginning of a rocky journey started for me. And I can just say, I'll just go from the beginning. When I was born a twin, but sadly, my twin did not proceed to be able to live in life. They were not given that gift. And, generally, when you have more than one child in the womb, you are opening both children up to some genetic independencies, mutations, and things like that can happen when one is naturally becoming bigger than the other or when hormones are really high. So the doctor basically explained to my mother that we were two separate fraternal embryos and I was meant to be a woman, but his testosterone and his hormones were raging and so high because they were overproducing to help him grow faster. And so it ended up basically turning me into an intersex person. My insides were female and my outsides were masculine. And it has been quite a journey to correct all of those things. Um,
Wow, I didn't know that about
yeah.
fraternal. Was it fraternal or identical twins, or it doesn't matter? It's the same on either one.
Well, technically, well, it's not the same because identical technically means you have two of the same gender,
Oh, that's true.
and fraternal means masculine and feminine embryos have taken basically to both sides.
Right.
And so that's like layman's terms. Um, when I was born, though, my mom was so distraught about losing her newborn son, not being able to raise both children in equal form. So she made the ignorant and collective decision to raise me as a boy. As young as 2.5 months old, my mom started me on testosterone patches and injections.
At 2 months old.
Yes, and steroids. And
Now,
it
was this
was
at the advice of a doctor?
illegally, but yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was advised but not recorded.
Right.
So they couldn't, get sued or malpractice or anything like that down the line. Which whatever. Um, she also collectively made the decision before I turned 1 years old to have a sterilization hysterectomy performed on me.
Oh.
And so my mom
Wait, before
decided,
you were one,
yeah,
your mother had a hysterectomy performed.
a sterilization as yes. So basically, they clamped everything that mattered to my womanhood and to the growth of my womanhood. And they took out my ovarian tube. They stopped the growth of my ovary because I only had one, which was very, coinciding with the intersexism. My body didn't know which way to go, so it was battling itself. And she took the opportunity away from me to ever have children of my own. And so that's just the beginning. Um,
So you've had a tumultuous just entering into this world the first couple of
yes.
years. And so here you are at 23 years old, this beautiful woman who I've seen on the cover of Bazaar magazine just recently.
Thank
Um,
you.
Tell us about your life. How did you go from there to next to here?
Well, I was thrown into the foster system when my mom decided to uproot me to the state of Mississippi. I was about 7 years old, and she just decided that this was something that her religious aspect could no longer maintain and could no longer fathom trying to love and trying to grow with. So she, out of all of her children, signed her rights away to the state of Mississippi.
Mm,
And this is where, and excuse my language, crap hits the fan.
wow. Yeah. Wow.
um, It didn't take Mississippi 6 months before they started to throw me in and out of mental health facilities. And within these facilities, I had state sanctioned electroconversion therapy. And
And
I
what was
am,
this for? Can you explain in
yes,
layman's terms what that means?
absolutely. So, conversion therapy basically is to take this can be from anybody, like it doesn't just have to be LGBT. There is conversion therapy for people leaving different countries and needing to be converted into a different religious aspect. But in mine, so to speak, they were trying to convert me from a gay queer person to a straight masculine man. They were trying to,
How old were you?
I was almost 8 years old.
Oh,
Yes.
so you're
My
still in these
entire life.
developmental years.
Yes, mine. Well, I'll say this. I was very strong-willed and very convinced that what they were doing was silly and just stupid. And I mean, it broke me. It brought me down and like made me very confused internally at times, but at the end of the day, I always was strong-footed in who I was and adamant that I am a woman. I am very proud of it, and all of you are just confused around me, and you will all see, mark my words.
I love the confidence. I mean, or something inside of you speaking louder than the
Yes.
outside, the external world.
My inner warrior, she is just, I think, and I can say it's because every adult in my earlyhood life had failed me when their promise and their guarantee into my childhood was supposed to be protection and
Yes.
authentic love,
Yes.
and no matter what or who I
100%.
become, they will love me fully and truly like be there for me, but that was never the case. So I've only ever known people indisposed of who I was and
Uh-huh. Trying to change you,
regretting trying to know me.
just trying to change everything about you
Uh,
instead of just knowing who you are as a pure soul coming into this world.
Yes. As somebody that just wants to produce light and love and joy around everybody around her. My internal little girl and just my internal head and thinking at all times of the day, even growing up, was just I want to love and be loved and spread so much love. I have
Oh,
so much to give.
wow.
And it was very confusing and conflicting because everybody wanted to just shy away from it. They wanted to put me in a corner. They wanted to paint me with specific labels that didn't make sense or were not authentically mine. And
Oh,
it was very awkward, to say the least.
yes. I mean, yes. And I mean, I think a lot of people listening can really relate to this in different ways, whether it's just religion or,
Absolutely. And
ethnicity or anything.
it breaks my heart that this is kind of a universal experience for people of different ethnic backgrounds, religious backgrounds, or sexual or gender preferences. It's kind of, I mean, it maybe not be this intensive to this extent, but it is a universal experience that we as humans from a very young age just start to like realize and have a very eye-opening moment. And I will say this, it led me to grow up really fast. Like I didn't get to have that authentic childhood where I get to scrape my knees playing with friends or get in trouble for sneaking out to go to like parties and stuff like that, or just getting invited to birthday parties. Like I like even as a child, like I did not have that curated childhood. My childhood was very up and down, a roller coaster of adults failing me, picking on me, and just trying to change me without ever letting me know what was wrong with me.
Wow. This is a powerful story, Addie.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
and I'm sort of speechless. I'm just listening. I'm like captivated at this, with your words. So keep going.
It has this effect a lot, but
Yeah.
I'm so used to it. So getting back to it, after the 6 to 8.5 months of electroconversion therapy that I was experiencing, and I
Can you
have no
explain what
problem.
that is? Like what's physically
Yeah,
happening there?
actually, so okay, so there are different forms. There's like
The form that you were exposed to.
the one that I was exposed to in particular, they had to shave my head every 3 days, completely bald. And they put this spiked cap that had these little divots that would basically embed into my skin so they could read my brain patterns and read the chemistry that was going on in my brain. But while
Wait, so
doing
you're
that,
23. This
yeah,
happened when you were 8. So that was what,
yes,
12, 13, 14, 15 years ago
yes, almost a
ish.
decade and a half.
I mean, this day and age, we're still doing these things. Good Lord. Okay, go on.
I have more heartbreaking news on that. It's been recorded happening as literally as January of this year, still within the southern states. So it it hasn't changed. It's just not glorified or talked about because they know they're in the wrong. They know what they're doing and torturing children is not okay, but they don't
No, it's never
care.
okay on any level. Okay, so they shave your head every couple of days. You have
Yes.
this like shower cap of divots like tightened onto your head.
Yes.
Yeah,
Making my skin bleed, creating scar
oh my
tissue,
gosh.
just deeply irritating. And then,
And they're trying to get you to be a masculine man from your feminine qualities.
well, basically, they
Vulnerable.
would strap like my chest with this metal bar wire, and it had a wet mesh cloth kind of going around it. And then they had one that would also go around from the temples, like basically from right here to the temples to the back.
Hmm.
Um, and they even had like these really tight metal like clamp rods that would clip to the tips of my fingers. And I remember distinctively that they put out this tray of toys, and on it had like monster trucks and Legos and Barbie dolls and Polly Pockets. And they even had on, like, in some parts, they had on like TV shows where it would be feminine shows like Strawberry Shortcake or um, like the Barbie movies, and then it would be like the Cars movie, or it would be some like little boy show like Kick Butowski or whatever the show was called on
And the goal of
Disney.
this was for you to watch the Cars show and play with the cars and the Lego.
So the premise of it basically was to read my brain patterns and see the excitement level and the endorphins when they would be registered for the girl aspects of stuff like the Barbies and the
So you
Polly
couldn't even fake it.
Pockets.
Like if you wanted
No,
to fake it, you couldn't because
I could not.
yeah.
And every time that like my body got excited and got happy about these things, I would feel an electric jolt jumping through my body.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It got to the point that it was so bad that they ended up damaging some nerves in my spine, like around here, around the back of my neck and stuff like that. And so it ended up creating tics down the line where my body just jolts and like I'll
Yeah.
twitch and stuff like that.
And so how long did this go on? And then, how did you escape this? How did you get out of this?
About 6 to 8 months it went on, almost a year. I didn't see an end sight into it. And it made me so depressed and so sad as a child that I had my first experience of like suicidal thoughts. And
Oh.
I had my first thought of like people would truly feel much happier and much more proud if I was not living in this life
So that is so
tainting.
sad that you, based on your experience, that you came to a conclusion that you're not wanted in this world and like maybe you should just leave it. Wow.
I felt that I had tainted everybody's life that I had came in contact with, and that I was just this unlovable devil created creature. And it was because the adults in my life had failed me so miserably and created so much doubt and misery into me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Um
there's good
I
news to this, right?
yes,
We're
I so when my mother signed her rights away to the state of Mississippi, she fully was not aware that it meant that I was now eligible to be adopted. And so I ended up with this amazing adoption worker who, when she found out that they were basically torturing me, modern day torture, she was so fed up and so pissed that she got 6 different judges to sign off on a release form and saved me and got me out of there. And then I was in and out of group homes and shelters for the better part of 2 years before I ended up into a foster family. And yeah, that was not good.
okay, so let's fast forward through that part of your life. And, you were telling me about your amazing father now.
Yes, so I have two wonderful dads. Sorry, I have two wonderful and incredibly talented, amazing fathers. They saved me from the state of Mississippi and came
How,
into my
how,
life.
how old were you?
I was about 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
I was getting later in life and I had, the thought and feeling that I had no family aspects out there because my want and my hope was always to end up in an LGBT home because there's safety in that and there's authentic, genuine love. Because at the end of the day, they are choosing you, they are choosing to love you, they are choosing to have you in their life. Unlike, and I don't mean any disrespect to
No, but
heterosexual,
you feel safe and you felt
yeah,
like you belonged. And I think that you were looking for connection and belonging all along and
yes.
refused it from day
And familiar love more than anything. I wanted a family like love that was just all mine and not anybody else's.
and and to have just a fair chance in life.
Oh gosh, yes. Yes, more than anything. I really just wanted every opportunity and every chance to show the world and to show the people that had hate and disgust for me that I'm not this vile human being. I am someone with care, someone with grace, someone who just wants to, as I said before, spread love and joy. And
A loving, living, beautiful soul who
thank you.
wants a chance at life like other people have.
Yes, yes. And an authentic childhood and a teenage life, like more than anything, I had missed out on so much
Yeah.
on those formative years that make young people who they are to this day. And I don't discredit my experiences. I don't hate them. I mean, I have forgiven the people in my life that had done the bad things to me. I do know without those trials and tribulations and that path that I had to take, I would not be as probably caring and as careful and as empathetic as I am
But you
to
don't know
a
that unknown, right? I think
that
you
it
maybe
is
would
unknown,
be a caring,
yes.
empathetic, beautiful soul regardless. But at the end of the day, you know, it seems like you were brave
Thank
and
you.
strong, and your inner world again spoke louder than whatever was happening in that external world for you to be able to overcome, find love, find belonging, and move forward and triumph over that tumultuous childhood that you just shared with us.
It was not an easy one, but one that I look back and I reflect on. And this might seem weird to some, but I'm grateful for the experiences that I have and that I've gone through. I
Sounds
am.
like you've tapped into your highest self. And so your highest self helps you release that. And that's great. So tell me more
Yes.
about how did you align your divine soul to get to this place of gratitude and forgiveness? Like some people can't ever. They'll just hold on to grudges and, you know, they're just resistant to the world and angry and reactive, and you're not.
Um, I mean, I will say it was a journey for me. I will not lie about that 1000%. It was a rocky road to get to where I am.
Yeah. What'd you
Um,
do?
I I did many years of therapy. I did many years of reflecting and research on how to be grateful for the experiences and the things that I have in my life because when my dads came into my life, I didn't realize how blessed I had become because I ended up with some of the most incredible incredible and loving parents on the planet. Like my dad,
You
for
deserve
instance,
them.
he's able to channel and he's able to embody spirits and good energy. And
I'd
I will
love to have
say,
him on this show.
oh,
The
he
name
would be
channeled.
amazing. He would be amazing for this. He is so good and he has so many wise things to spread to the world.
I bet he
So
does.
many. He actually has a few books out that will change people's lives. And I will say he played a big part in helping me get there more than anything. I think them showing up for me
Mhm.
and giving me the space to fuck up and to learn. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry, but
We're authentic here.
to give me the space to mess up and to really reflect on my actions and why those actions came up. Like we had this kind of internal joke that I had an internal saboteur when things start going really good for me and things start to become very powerful in my life. My my survival mode kind of kicks in because it doesn't recognize
Mhm.
or it
Well,
did
we
not
learned that, I learned
recognize.
with hypnotherapy, right? So our mind's like what's familiar, even if it's not good for us. So
Yes.
that in it, everything's done to survive. So it's keeping you safe, keeping you small, keeping you in this small area. And you were able somehow to do all of that internal work to rewire your brain and recognize, wait, hold on, I don't need to be kept safe through anxiety and fear. I need to
Mm,
be growing and creative and divine and being a vessel of light, it sounds like.
yes. It it was a challenge in its own, but I'm so grateful that I did that, that I went down that path and
What
that I
therapies did you do? What worked best? People ask that question quite a bit, and everything's different for everyone, but
I guess I would say like the generic, just speaking out my feelings and really trying to regulate and understand the reasoning behind a lot of it because I've suffered from abandonment, sexual assault, and people abusing me physically, and I've suffered from just like the loss, like I've experienced so much grief and so much anger that like I did not know where to put it. And when I started to talk to somebody that really just had no judgments and they gave me the space to say all the wrong things that I needed to say, to allow my mind to really wrap around the aspect and the fact that I am not in those spaces anymore, that I'm not.
you've removed your situation. You're not
Yes. And
there,
I was,
and that's
and
exactly what happens. People, their minds are still stuck in time, back in time.
yes.
And so they're showing up in present, but their minds are reacting to something that happened when they're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And unless you do the work and remove that
You
part,
have to
disconnect yourself,
actively
right?
seek that help. You
Yes.
need to actively wake up every day and tell yourself, today is a good day. I am choosing love. I am choosing the the absolute best path to give back, not only for myself, but into others. I want to pour authentic, genuine happiness into others because when you do that, it fills yourself up. It creates a bubble of genuine happiness. And I can say this as a testament because it works so well for me. And like, you don't have to be fake with it. You don't need to find things that like you kind of like if you don't like the saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I've always taken it a step further. I have really gone out of my way to find people that I think are doing amazing in life and maybe need a simple reminder. And when you tell
I had
them,
chills when you said that. I just got chills.
thank
I think
you.
it's not just the words you said, but how you're saying it. And it's coming from such an authentic place.
Well, it means a lot to me. Like people think like filling people's cups just means like saying like, oh, you're absolutely stunning today. You look gorgeous. Or wow, you're absolutely slaying, sister, house down boots, kill
Right.
it. But it's
No, but
not
you're
always like
doing
that.
it because it's what you needed in the past and you
Yes.
understand that connection.
Yes. Sometimes it's you showing up is absolutely enough. Sometimes it's a comment like, I'm so proud of you for not allowing your emotions to become reactive, or like small
You
little
say that
goal
to yourself?
accomplishments.
Do you have some practical, can you share maybe some practical things that you do daily or in the morning?
Oh, yes,
Just some
yes,
things
yes.
that get you not just through the day, but like to keep you elevated and, high
Oh
vibration.
my gosh, yes. I have so many that sometimes I
There's some.
forget them and then they come back to me a few
There one
weeks
you used
later.
today. I know you had, you shared with me that you had unfortunately some bad news.
Yes.
Um, what did you do?
Um,
How do you get through that?
Today I told myself, what are the things that I can actively change in this moment?
Mm.
What are the things that I actively have control over that nobody can take from me and nobody can become the deciding factor over? And what are things that I will need help with changing, or some things that are going to have to be changed down the line or dealt with down the line? And that really, for me, really puts things into perspective. It
So
allows
wait,
me
hang on, let's repeat those. So you have massive self-awareness. So what are the things that I have complete control over? What are the things that I have complete focus on? And what are the things that I need help with,
yes.
knowing that I could ask someone and be resourceful?
Yes,
I'm not
because
stuck.
we as humans, we cannot do everything on our own.
No.
We cannot. We might think that we can. We might try to take that role and that power and try to really wear the weight of the world on our shoulders.
Oh
But
yeah. And that
at,
causes, look, again, with my hypnotherapy, people come pains, heart pain, back pains, things, and it's all emotional.
yes,
It's all
it
emotional.
absolutely is. If we take a moment and we step back, not victimizing ourselves and not allowing ourselves to go down the path like, why me? Why
Right.
this? Why now?
Well, so many people
If
do
we
that.
take
It's
the
like
why out of
70%.
it and change it with what what can I do? What can I affect? What can I change? What do I have control over? What do I not? What needs to be held off? What needs to just be like, okay, I need a moment. Like when you start changing your things from why to what and to how I can do these things, it really, things like it goes into like manifestation. Things really start to open up into a blossoming aspect of like how things can truly open for you. It goes into all kinds of things like feeling your authenticity, feeling the anger and the dread leaving your body. It allows you to be open and perceptive to the love that other people in the world are just spreading. It allows you to be knowledgeable and willing, have a willingness to embrace and to attack these things with a precise conviction of love
Yeah.
and joy and authenticity. Because at the end of the day, if you're not leading with love, joy, and authenticity, you're not living an authentic life. You're not
Completely agree.
practicing true human companionship and
So, Addie, with you
experiencing it at
talked
the
about
highest level.
true authenticity happens when, we get rid of the junk.
Yeah.
And that's
And
what you did. You got rid of the junk.
sometimes you don't have to get rid of all the junk, but you can't bottle it up and put it away for forever. You need to actively be taking the steps to work towards that.
Well, sure. Let me
And
ask you, how did you do
yeah,
that? Because, when we're filled with that junk, that's the lens we see the world in, right? And so
yes,
there's where the
yes,
reactions and the jealousy or the envy or the anger or the fear or the anxiety or the overthinking, the procrastination, I'm looking through the lens of stuff, trauma, things that have happened, just bad experiences, or it's not just even what happened, but the beliefs that I formed about myself.
Mhm.
And so I'm looking through those lenses. And once we are capable of removing those through different modalities, whether it's hypnotherapy, whether it's talk therapy,
Yes.
whether it's whatever, you're able to open up to that light. You had to do a lot of soul searching to remove those things. Was there any one story that you have, anything particular, an aha moment that you can share that made
Yes, actually. And it wasn't in therapy. It wasn't, talking with my parents. There was this moment where I was talking to like one of my childhood best friends in high school, and I was, going over these things and how they just keep festering and keep bothering me because I don't feel that I was worthy of my parents' love. I didn't feel that I was worthy of all the good things that were happening to me because I had been trained to think that I was never going to.
right?
And she said something to me, isn't it better to forgive but not forget? Like, you don't have to necessarily forget about the things that you've experienced because they make you who you are. They truly impact your attitude, your upbringing, your mentality, your way you push out to society, and the way you just interact with others. She she went into detail like, isn't it better to forgive them for their mistakes and their ignorance, and to forgive them for their own BS craziness? And I'm
We have a saying in the hypnotherapy, it's something that you used to have, but it's something that will never, ever, ever affect you again.
yes, I like when you get out of these situations, your body is still in a survival, attack, fight or flight mode. And you have to recognize those signs. The first step is recognizing those um, self-destructive signs that create scenarios and create bad thoughts that affect everything. Like, you have to start,
Well, they can downward spiral fast.
yeah, you have to start learning to be nicer to yourself, kinder. You have to remind yourself constantly. And this is not just a quick thing that people can experience and just be like, oh, wow, I got this in the bag. I can do this. No, because
No, it's you got to form muscle memory for sure.
yes,
It is.
because for years, your body has been creating the muscle memory that it's bad, it's not okay. But now you're rewriting that. You're giving yourself love. You're doing things for yourself without having to include others. Like, whether that may be a spa day or therapy or shopping therapy or taking a walk and touching grass. The best thing anybody can do, in my opinion, is reconnect themselves with nature.
No, but it's scientifically proven.
Yes,
So it's not even
finding a
it's your opinion,
plant.
but it's scientifically proven to ground will change
Yes,
your all of the elevate your
walk
soul.
barefoot through the
Yeah,
grass.
I
I'm
walk
so
barefoot. I
serious.
walk my dog barefoot every day.
It's it is so centering and so powerful. And then they're going deeper. You find an animal or a plant that is helpless, and you create these habits and these schedules where you're taking care of it and you're pouring yourself into something else that starts to create this routine of like, wow, I can do this. I can do this for myself. If I can take care of a plant and I can make it flourish and I can make it grow and I can make it become this beautiful, miraculous thing. What is stopping me from doing that to myself?
Yes. Yes. I think that's just like so true that was like a metaphor for yourself.
Exactly, it really is. And there's science behind it. When you take care of things, whether it be like a little spider or a snake or a cat or a plant, or even just getting up out of bed and doing a chore a day, it
Mhm.
creates this. internal self-gratitude because you're accomplishing things that you set goals out for. They don't need to be big. Don't set like I think the number one mistake that everybody does is they set these goals that are so big and so high and so far out of reach for them in the beginning that when they don't reach them, they succumb to that failure. And sometimes they're just like, well, I tried, I can't do it
Well,
again.
and then it
No.
triggers that I'm not good enough. It triggers that space that it's just not available to me or I'm just different. Yeah.
Yes. It's like, no, babe, you can't do that. You need to like set little ones. Like the first goal should be get up and shower and wash my hair. More than anything, washing your hair, washing your face, doing a skincare routine, you're already on the steps to making your body feel appreciated. Your soul starts to feel wanted again. And that's,
Wait, so let's just pause here for a minute.
yeah, go ahead.
You've said some incredible healing
It's
things.
been a lot. Yeah.
No, no, but it is, and they're simple. Pet an animal, walk barefoot, take care of yourself, look in the mirror and say, I love you. Take care of
Oh
a
my gosh,
those things that are so
I need
simple.
to second
Yeah,
that.
go
Look
on.
in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. Even if you don't believe it yet, babe, the best thing you could do is fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
It works. It really works.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. And these are simple things that anybody can do, but it's the
Yeah.
fact that we have to, I love what you said, trick your brain, because again, I keep referring back to hypnotherapy because I've learned everything about how our brains are wired. And these aren't just affirmations, these are actual neurological reprogramming. These are
Yes.
actual reprogramming your mind to accept that you are worthy of, something as simple as um, self-care. Like some people don't,
Exactly.
and you
Exactly.
are worthy of just a walk in the park with a dog. I mean, I think you have to look at that as progress and you have to look at that as productive. The rest, the self-care, the taking care of it, that is productive in your life. Some people
It
think, oh,
is.
well, rest and sleep, that's for the weak or that's for, for the wicked, that saying. No,
Your body needs it. It needs to reset its nervous system every night. It needs time to decompress and recope and realign itself.
I have a good question for you.
Yes,
Everybody
absolutely.
has a coping way. So let's kind of back up a little bit before you were able to get through all this triumphant, find the light,
Mhm.
and have these amazing practices that have led you to where we're going to get to in a minute. Um, what were your coping mechanisms? Because some people it's like
Ah,
go, 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 don't stop, don't stop, don't sleep, or whatever, or angry, 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 or react, or just overthinking, procrastinating, and never getting anything done. What was your coping
I had a
mechanism that you
few.
just like defaulted to until you learned that that's not the right way?
I had a few. My main one was when I felt myself slipping back into those self-destructive patterns. I needed to take a step back and really recognize, like, okay, what is going on?
Okay, so you would stop actually. You would stop
Yes.
and ask yourself. So instead of just like flying off the handle or getting angry or having those suicidal thoughts, stop, pause, and say, what's really
Take a
happening?
really deep moment and digest everything your surroundings, the things being said, and really you don't need to go crazy and pick apart everything, but pick apart the aspects in yourself that brought you to that moment. What was that first moment of that day that started to fester annoyance, or that started to fester an anger, or just
Where was
an
the trigger, right? Where was the trigger
yes,
of the
where
emotion?
was it and why did you allow it to have that much control over your feelings?
Ooh, why did you allow it to have that much control?
Yes, why did I allow it to dig into my mind so deeply and fester the way that it did? And another one is also like music therapy is so good, and I will stand on this.
Who's your favorite artist? And
Um, I love Adele, but that's because she's my birthday twin, May 5th. Turn up.
Taurus, okay.
Yes, through and through. Um, but if I'm being honest, there is this orchestra or this opera band. They're called the Prayer Cycle. And or that's the name of the album that they released. I can't remember the name of it. And it's this Italian and African, I believe, opera combination. And it is probably the most grounding and like
What's it called? The prayer.
cycle. Mhm. I highly recommend it. Listen to it in order. Your life will be changed. It is some of the most beautiful sounds and
Well, there's healing, there's
gifts.
hurts, there's different hurts.
Oh, there's
We have
it's
binaural beats and
yes,
hurts, and all of those tap into like love
yes.
and healing and surrender.
And then another thing is
Oh, I
reminding
just looked it up. The
myself,
Prayer Circle is a choral orchestral album composed by Jonathan Elias.
yes, yes.
There you go.
And I will say another thing is also reminding myself that I am not in that space anymore where I need to be a survivor, where I need to,
Time to thrive.
yes, where I need to like fight everybody who's trying to help me
Ah,
because there was moments where I was on
ah.
my own and like I was my own caretaker and I was my own teacher, my own defender. And I quickly realized, well, not quickly, not quickly at all, but
Over time.
over time, I realized like that's not the life that I'm living anymore. I am in a space and in an environment where I am champion and I am given space to figure out and to truly,
But wait, you allow that in though. You allowed
yeah,
light, you allowed love, you allowed you're engaged now. Let's talk about the things that, you've just been blessed with since you were able to forgive, not forget, but to forgive and have gratitude for your life and let that light in. So you have an amazing, beautiful, abundant life that's just moving in so many beautiful ways.
thank you
Tell me
so
about that.
much. I I will say that yes, I've been pretty blessed in my life that I've been given second and third and fourth and fifth chances at love and at experiencing
Well, let's talk about you're on the cover of Bazaar magazine, I see.
in Vogue. I've done
You're on the
Vogue,
cover of
Marie
Vogue
Claire,
magazine, on the
uh,
cover of Mary Claire?
Marie Claire.
Marie Claire, sorry. You were on the cover of Marie Claire. What else?
I've had a few commercials out there. I
What
am
runways have
actually,
you walked?
it's,
Fashion shows have you done?
I've done over 150, so sometimes they get lost into it, but I've done Chanel, I've done Ashton Michael, I've done and Kintaro, I've done Richard Hallmark, I've done George Stylar, I've done Lorenzo Couture, I've
That's
done
so wonderful.
Balmain.
I could see the joy in your eyes. Like you're
I
traveling the world.
It's also not just that, like, I have a genuine passion
Right.
for this. Like, I have a craft in it that I have mastered since I was 10, because I've always been tall and skinny and lengthy. And I knew from the very jump, like, whether it be male or female, I was going to become the next biggest face in the industry. And I'm still working towards that. And I will not rest until I'm a household name like Naomi Campbell, Shalom Harlow, Iman Haman. Like I want to be,
You will be.
I'm going to be.
You will be. Yes,
Yes.
you will be. And you are already.
Thank you.
So that is, that's such what a triumphant story that you have. You have like an amazing story that people in the world needs to hear. Tell me you spoke somewhere at Penn State. Tell us about that.
Yes, so this would have been when I was a lot younger. I was about 16 and I was doing the Harvey Milk Youth Voices. And basically, I was spreading my story. I was educating these next adults that are going into life that are going to become our politicians, that are going to become our congressmen and women and our doctors and our leaders and lawyers. And basically, just remember, like, trying to get them to realize, like, not everything is so blue collar. Not everything is black and white. Sometimes it's red, sometimes it's brown and mucky, sometimes it's beautiful and sparkly. But there are people that, even from a young age, who don't deserve these things, are going through so much. But
And
there is always a light at the end of the tunnel.
where did you get the courage to get up and speak at 16 years old after everything you'd been through?
I've always been an ambitious person and very adrenaline junkie. I like to push myself to the limits. I was scared, don't get me wrong. When I was done, I went backstage and I was hurling like a cat and dog. Like it was
I would have been.
overflowing. But it for me, it was important more than anything to be the voice for the voiceless, trans youth, LGBT youth, foster youth. I am all of those things.
And people they didn't people who have not chosen that, or maybe you did when you choose your parents, from a soul spirit level possibly, but
Yeah,
but from on this physical plane, you didn't choose to be an intersex child. You didn't choose
no,
to
it's
given up from parents and sent to the state of
I'm
Mississippi.
gonna I'm gonna hit everybody with a little education moment. The transgenderism and intersexism genetic upbringing is it's natural and it's genetic to your family. So even if somebody didn't transition in your life, in your past, in your family, um, the the geno bring up and markup is there. It's there. I had the courage from a very young age to say, I'm a girl and you can't tell me any different.
Wow.
You can't.
Wow. Wow. And
And
so,
I will say, I've done every single thing that I possibly can, surgery wise, like social experiment wise, to really put myself in a place of femininity and myself in a place of womanhood. Like I've been amplifying it to its highest ability and I will never take it for granted. I will always amplify and rejoice in it. And I think every woman should. Every person should.
wow. So, where are your goals now?
My goals now. This might sound silly, but I don't want to be a stereotype for the trans community. I will still be an activist. I will still be the voice for the voiceless, but I want to be a mom one day. I want to raise
Oh,
children
I have
and
chills again.
like I want to give like it would be a shame to go through this life with all this love that I have and all of this power that I can instill in the next generation and all this authenticity and not give it back to my future children. Like that to me is something that's always been adamantly at the top of the list. Like finding a partner that can love me authentically, which I have.
Oh,
I have
love that
him.
for you.
He's
Beautiful. Addie, thank you so much for your time today.
oh, thank you so much for having
This has been
me.
such an amazing, enlightening, powerful conversation of hope, of triumph, of love and light, and I appreciate it. So, for everyone listening, if you like these, make sure you subscribe and come back for more. And Addie, where can we find you? Where can the client look if
They
there's
can find me on Instagram at official Addison. I absolutely mean anybody. Please feel free to reach out to me if you are having moments of self-doubt, self-awareness that make you uncomfortable. If you are having moments where you just feel like you are not enough or you're not giving enough or you're not receiving enough, talk to me. I am so magically in tune with
Mm,
giving the best advice and giving people the space that they need just to even vent. Sometimes people just need to get it out,
yeah.
and I will be that for everybody on the planet. I
Wow.
will be a universal
You are
loving
a
therapist.
beautiful soul with a mission and a purpose, and you are eloquent, you're elegant, you're artistic, you're articulate,
Thank
and
you.
the list goes on. So thanks again for your time.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again
And
for your
can I
work
just
and your love
say,
and light.
thank you so much for having this space that allows people like me and others to really open eyes of other people and spread love and to spread joy and to spread happiness. Thank you for giving me the space to tell my story and to
Yep.
hopefully change some lives and perspectives out there because at the end of the day, we are all human, just trying to make it by.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And you're absolutely welcome.